Welcome into the Hustle Show podcast Wednesday nights. Drew Martin, Kelly Stewart, Chris Thurston, Adam Trigger. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, powered by WagerTalk.com. We're talking college basketball, giving picks for tonight's slate, talking it overall, and hitting early thoughts on the Super Bowl. Going around the horn here with three of the finest personalities in the sports betting industry. At Kelly in Vegas on Twitter, Barstool Sportsbook, WagerTalk.com. Kelly, welcome in. How you feeling?
Hey, thanks, Drew. Doing all right. Got a little cold. Chris was making fun of me, per usual, before the show started. It looks like he's got a very grainy connection. It looks like Adam is an alien in some sort of, I don't know where. We're going to work on the technology thing, I promise. One of these days, we're going to get it right.
Hey, yours looks good, Kelly. I think mine looks all right. But yeah, CT Bets coming to us a little bit dark. We got Adam Trigger in the Ukrainian basement down there. Let's try out CT Bets. Can you hear us, man? A little bit grainy there. How you doing, buddy?
I can hear you guys loud and clear. What's wrong on my end?
You might, Chris, you might need to just refresh. I think if you go out and refresh, you'll be fine.
But don't do that until it's not your turn.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm doing great, Drew. As you guys know, I'm coming off my biggest bet winner of the year on the AFC Championship. So I was cold for a little while. I had a really good week last week, which was really nice. So cashed that Chiefs ticket, and we're off to college hoops and the Super Bowl.
There you go. Nothing like a close bet coming down to the end, getting it on your side, and then all of a sudden you're seeing it clearly, grabbing some winners. So, hey, Chiefs over the Bengals sounds to be that. Tyrone Boyd coming in. Shout out to you, City by the Bay, on the Wager Talk chat box. And we do have Adam Trigger at Top Flight SI. Unknown location here. Might be the Ukrainian basement. We're not really sure. Trig, how's it going, man?
No, it's going great, Drew. It's funny, like, so StreamYard has, like, very limited options for the green screen backdrop. And like, you got Ski Profits Living Room, of course,
yes,
which we use all the time. And, you know, sometimes I just want to switch it up. So, to be honest, Drew, College Hoop has been going so good. I'll use my, like...
Why would you use the bricks? That I feel like that is, like, a bad jinx. It's like a bad...
Well, I had Buffalo last night, and they couldn't hit a shot. So I said, you know, but I did have Marist as well. You know what, Kel? Just for you. Hold on. We're back in Ski's living room. Wait a minute. I don't know. Did that go? Are we in Ski's living room right now?
And you're less glowing. Less of a green glow above your brain.
I like the green glow. That's okay. Do you like this hoodie? That's a Michigan hoodie with the old school Wolverine on it. Got this when I was in Ann Arbor last week.
Yeah, no.
You don't like the Michigan hoodie. Okay, I know. I didn't. My Kansas State one was not clean. It was in the wash. So
you've worn it so many times. Also, they're on the shit list right now. Last night, turned the ball over 500 times. I don't want to talk about them. Bye.
Jacob, we'll absolutely get down to Athens. We'll get Mark Zeno out with us. He wants to go to a game in Georgia, or at Athens, too.
Me and Mark Zeno, a little head-to-head on Twitter. That was fun. I love Mark. Great guy. Had to take it over to the text conversation. Don't want to get canceled again.
No, you don't want that.
Guys, we got Super Bowl talk, college basketball picks coming your way over the next, 25, 30 minutes here. Kansas City, Philadelphia, Super Bowl, early thoughts. We got now -1.5, 50.5 being the total. State Farm Stadium, Glendale, Arizona, where the Arizona Cardinals play. Kelly, we've seen a little bit of Eagles money off the top, and now a little buyback here on Kansas City. And anything kind of piquing your interest here, Super Bowl wise?
Yeah, I did a little TikTok, which is not really something I enjoy doing, but I thought it was kind of crazy that Barstool had up every single possible matchup as a 1-point favorite or 1-point underdog. And so when they opened Kansas City -1, which was the look-ahead line, I said, oh boy, here we go. And they just got pummeled with the Eagles money. Of course they did. The Eagles won in just such a ridiculous fashion, and Kansas City was in a knockout, drag-out fight versus the Bengals in a game that could have went either way. I thought we were going to see overtime. Obviously that late hit out of bounds changed everything. I'm happy because CT talked me into betting the Chiefs with him, and that helped me save my ass from the debacle that was the Niners with no quarterback. But I have to say, early leans, I'm looking towards the Chiefs and the points here. I'm not sure I'm going to get involved, Drew. I'll be really honest with you. This side is it looks like it's a coin flip type game. I think that the Chiefs defense gives me a lot of worries, as we've seen in the second half of several games this year. I mean, the Chiefs have been up 28-0 and almost lost to teams like the Broncos. And they put a lot of pressure on Burrow. Are they going to be able to get to Jalen Hurts behind that O-line? I don't know. Eagles kind of have played that card that Georgia was playing after the national championship. Nobody believed in us. What are you guys talking about? You guys started off like 8-0. What do you mean nobody believed in you? Give me a break. Yeah, you were 22-1 to win the Super Bowl at one point, but like, it's not like you were like 100-1. You were the Denver Broncos, not going to even have a shot in hell. So I think it's going to be a fun one. I'm looking at the total. It pains me to say that I lean towards the under as well. Ugh. I don't know if I'm going to have the gut to do it, but I'm going to get with Ariel Epstein. I'm going to get a bunch of prop bets going. Hosted a Super Bowl party at my house again this year, so I'm excited.
Nice. I like it, Kelly. I remember the Super Bowl party in Las Vegas. Always a fun time.
Yeah, we like to have a good time, right? Let's get the Vivas flowing, get the grill going. The Super Bowl is remember, guys, and I know I hate to be this person, but the Super Bowl is a standalone event, right? There is no sharp side. There is no public side. The public wins the Super Bowl all the time. The bookmakers clean up no matter what happens because idiots go out there and lay minus 115 on a coin flip. So let's reel it back in, guys. Remember, college basketball season is upon us, and this is where you're going to make some money. And the Super Bowl, just have some fun. Don't go crazy.
Kelly, I like what you said there. The sharp, square. There isn't really one. I feel like that term kind of gets thrown out a little bit too much in this business, but particularly with the Super Bowl, like it's one game here. Is there really a sharp?
And that's
just another game.
And that's the whole thing. When it's a standalone event, if you talk to as many bookmakers as I have over the years, it's not a whole thing where there's a whole bunch of lopsided money. It's pretty generally, you see those long lines in the book, you see the apps crashing, all that stuff, because everybody's trying to get their bets in at the same time, where it is, the public does win. We've seen it a million times over. And the public who never bets dogs, all of a sudden will come in on the dog. Remember the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl with Nick Foles? The books got creamed because everybody bet the Eagles. We'll see how this one works out. But I think that, you get those packets of Super Bowl props. As soon as I get mine, and my PDF version, that is, I'm going to send it to Ariel and be like, here you go.
Yeah, guys. I mean, Philadelphia, in my opinion, like the road to the Super Bowl, just the way it went down against San Francisco, like you probably better off having your running back there in the shotgun and just running the Wildcat style.
Oh, that was, Drew Biddle's in the comments. How can I trust you guys? You all picked San Fran. Yeah. Did you think that, let's just talk about that game for 1 second. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant.
I was going to take that, but go ahead.
No, please go ahead, CT. And then I will fill in wherever you got to say. Go.
Sure. Drew, how can you trust us? Okay. We didn't really plan for Brock Purdy to get hurt in the first 5 minutes of the game. That all being said, even when he does get hurt in the first 5 minutes of the game was 14-7 with Josh Johnson, a four-string quarterback, has the ball and fumbles the ball. It was an actual game. Okay. Andrew, if you're going to come in here and bitch about that, if you weren't live betting the Eagles for your life after the Niners tied it up 7-7, I don't know how to help you anymore. You can't be helped. I got off almost all of my bet. You can't be helped. God can't even save you. Plus, the Chiefs is my best bet of the week, best bet of the NFL. So don't come in here. How can you trust me?
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go even a step before that. I don't think Purdy would have even gotten hurt had Shanahan done the right thing and thrown the challenge flag on the catch that wasn't a catch by Devonta Smith when the Niners defense had them on the ropes in the first series. It was about to be fourth down. He doesn't throw the challenge flag. They hurry up, score a touchdown, and then you have to march Purdy back out there. He gets hurt. Had he thrown the challenge flag, those next sequence of events would never have happened. We'll never know what the game was really supposed to be. So please, yes, I would agree. I would have much rather had Christian McCaffrey in there. I actually am a big Jimmy Garoppolo fan, but when I saw him smirking on the sidelines, I wanted to punch him in the face.
Yeah, especially with money on the line. And yeah, he was laughing, but I do think they would have been better off towards the end. They likely already lost anyway, but Christian McCaffrey back there, at least you have the chance to break off a big one, let him throw it.
And we saw him do that multiple times. You're able to run against them. The bad part about the Chiefs is they don't run the football. So I don't really know how this whole matchup is going to be. I mean, I think this is what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts, depending on if Travis Kelce's brother allows that to happen. We're going to see some big passes from Patrick Mahomes to either Jason Kelsey's brother, Travis, or maybe one of the other fourth string wide receivers that made it out of the Bengals game alive, because the Chiefs are banged up. Again, lean the Chiefs, but I need to see some answers on the injury front before I can go laying my hard-earned money on this team. Just because it's a Super Bowl doesn't mean I have to bet a side or total.
So Kel, that being said, right? Yeah, absolutely. Check.
Oh, Kyle's right. That was fourth down. You're right. I'm so sorry.
Right. That was fourth down. Plus, the Niners were getting the ball back at the half, too. Let's not forget about that. Chiefs obviously very banged up. I know we don't want to spend too much time on this, but I think the 2 weeks is going to help them. The 2 weeks is the best thing ever for them. And let's not forget, not sure if you stopped. Well, I know you did stop watching that game. Jalen Hurts is hurt as well. He couldn't throw a ball to save his life. He got bailed out by Brock Purdy getting hurt and the running game. So let's not go too far there. The Chiefs will be just fine come Sundays from now.
Full disclosure, I actually was watching the game. The TV was behind me and I could see the reflection in the beach bar window. And I'm going to say this. I was not overly impressed by the Eagles. Get mad at me. Philly fans already hate me for betting the Niners last weekend. Like, whoop-de-fucking-do. But the whole end of the day, they have not impressed me against teams not named the Giants.
Well, and Kelly, that's what I was getting at off the top. Their run to the Super Bowl is kind of the easiest route I can remember off the top of my head. I mean, the Giants had a good year.
Second easiest schedule this year.
In particularly the playoff run of it, because the Giants had a good year, but let's be real, they weren't really a Super Bowl contender. Apologies to all Giants fans out there. And then they got San Francisco with, the four-string quarterback going down. So it was one of those things.
Drew says we would have dominated. Drew plays for the Eagles now. Sorry.
Hey, Drew Martin, I, thinking straight the schedule, I saved this tweet from our good buddy Mitch Moss because thought this was a great tweet. So he tweeted this out. In 13 games with a strength of schedule difference of 10 or more spots, the team that played the better schedule is 10-3 straight up, 8-5 against the spread. The Chiefs had the 16th toughest schedule. And like Kelly said, Eagles had the 31st. That's second to last in the league here. On the list of the teams that the Gulls have beat, it's worth noting there are not too many mobile quarterbacks on that list as well, Drew.
And I like your point before.
Danny Dimes isn't mobile?
No, I'm going to.
Sorry, I just picture him. And you look at that one long run he broke off like early in the year, and I'm like, I might be faster than Daniel Jones. Might be. Trig is definitely faster. I've seen Trig run against you too. He's faster than Daniel Jones, 110%.
All right, guys, we got college basketball tonight too. 6:30 game. I know Providence Xavier's then. That's actually, it was my best bet on the CBB show. I can give it out again. But what do we got here, guys? Tonight's action, CT bets. What do you like in college basketball?
So I'll head to the A10 here, and this is a game that Trig and I and Kelly actually, I texted them both this at 7:30 in the morning that I liked URI plus 5.5, and I was going to hit it then. And I did. Trig agreed with me. Looks like the market kind of agreed with me as well. Still a couple 4.5s out there, Drew, but mostly 4s. And yeah, call me crazy. I want to face St. Joe's tonight, even though they're 4-1 in their last 5 games, 5-0 against the spread. I've seen both these teams play numerous times this year. I think they're very evenly matched here. URI, they got off to a horrible start this year. 5-10 to start over their first 15 games. But I think they showed a lot of guts this past Saturday. They were down 40-29 going in the second half versus LaSalle. Went on a 43-30 run from there. They ended up winning that game 72-70. Trig and I talked about this as well. I think URI has a big coaching edge here. Really like Coach Archie Miller. I think he's got them really going in the right direction here. They're trending up. They've won their last 2. The stud, Ishmael Leggett, he's been a horse for them. Scoring was a problem to start the year, Drew, but since they've scored 72 points or more in 3 straight games, I think they hang around here. So shop around. You can get some 4.5s out there. I think St. Joe's plus 4.5 is a good bet tonight.
St. Joe's.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I think URI is a good
Rhode
bet.
Island.
Plus 4.5. I apologize. Look at me now.
Yeah, Drew, I want to jump in real quick. I fully agree with that. The move is definitely sharp toward Rhode Island, and with good reason. Like St. Joe's can't be a favorite. Like I know they're 4-1 in their last 5. They've played well, but they profile so much better as a dog. Like they're the type of team you want to back. Like you missed, in my opinion, you missed your opportunity to back St. Joe's the last couple times out when they were underdogs against George Washington and covered, when they were underdog against George Mason and won outright. Now they flip to the favorite role. I'd much rather, people are going to get hung up on the fact that Rhode Island's 0-6 on the road this year, but Archie Miller's bringing that team along. So I'm with Chris. I like URI, and I'll just go right into the game that I was going to talk about that you've already mentioned because it starts in 15 minutes, and that is Providence. I think they're a great bet over Xavier. Drew gave it out as his best bet on the college basketball show. Freddie Mills just gave an awesome breakdown of it on my spaces. And like the more I talk to people about this game, the more I just want to jump in with Providence. Ed Cooley as an underdog, 91-60 against the spread in his coaching career as a dog. Former Fairfield Stags head coach, where CT Betts went to high school. Ed Cooley. Really good dog against Siena on a couple occasions back in the day. Fremantle out. We know his importance to Xavier. So... And listen, I've been the biggest Xavier supporter. I gave them at the beginning of the season that to potentially be a dark horse to win the Big East. I feel like the value has sort of, they've played so well that it can only trend back in this direction. Now you take Fremantle out of the mix. Providence, I don't even know if you really know the ceiling on them because they're such a different team than last year. But Ed Cooley he's got them playing well again. He brought in new guys. It's worked. I'm not betting against the Friars as a dog, and this is actually a scenario where I like Providence as an underdog. So I definitely lean toward the Friars. +4. It tips in 13 minutes.
An update, yes, it tips really quick. 3 books in Vegas and Bet Online, Circa, Westgate, and South Point. The screen just went black, and it went from 4 to 3.5. So the leading indicator books are all moving that way. Kind of late money right now.
It's good news for you, Trig, because the Big East, I'm like 1-12 betting the Big East this year. It has just been an abomination. I am 7-1 betting the Mountain West, though, which is going to be my best bet at the end of the show, and I'll let you guys know that here in a minute. But the Big East, I just hate them. Like I cannot bet a Big East game correct to save my life. And so I like Xavier tonight. So that's good news for Trig. And the reason why I'm not betting Xavier is because I have a do not bet against list. Marquette, Alabama, K-State, Providence, and then Nevada at home. And Providence, yeah, I'm with you, Trig. I wanted to make a case for Xavier so bad. It looks like such a trappy line, but I'm done overthinking it. Providence is definitely one of those teams that has been absolutely great.
Abby going against us here. I like you keeping track of the Records Conference. Very particular.
Yeah, you know why, Drew? Because I think it's important. Like when you do your spreadsheets and you keep track of where you're at and which conferences you know best, stick with those conferences. If you don't have a good read on a conference, stop it. The Big East, I'm done. I am done trying to guess this clusterfuck of a conference. And Providence looks like the better team. They're catching points. It looks super trappy to me. But I'm done overthinking it because I've been dead wrong. CT, I think you were on Providence on Saturday, and I liked Villanova.
On Sunday.
And then you talked me off of it. Yeah. And so I just didn't bet it. I was so happy that I just didn't bet it. It was like a big win in my book because, again, Providence just has been a dagger. A lot of guys asking about Bedlam. I am on Oklahoma State tonight. I don't like that the line moved to 4. I did bet 3.5 earlier, gave it out on the show I do with Jeff Nadeau. So instead of talking about that game, just because I don't love it, I'm going to talk about Florida, Tennessee. This one looks like it is just begging for Tennessee money, and rightfully so. That defense has stifled tons of teams, most notably and recently Texas on Saturday. I'm really glad I didn't take Texas. They were very, very, very close to making my card. Florida's got to do something here at home. Bottom line, they are on the bubble. If they want to make the tournament now, I like Todd Golden, and I think this team is trending up in a better direction since they moved on from Mike White, but they got to start hitting threes. And I don't know if they can do it against this Tennessee team, one of the best three-point shooting defenses in the country, but they've got to be able to put up some semblance of a fight because what we saw in Manhattan, Kansas was this team just laid over and died. They played some really solid defenses this year in K-State, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and not any of those games have they put up, 60 points. And it's been really frustrating, I'm sure, for Gators fan base. I think this looks like the type of 65-61 type final. I took the 5 with Florida. We got some nice reverse line movement down from 6.5. I also wouldn't blame anybody if they wanted to take the under.
Yeah, 65-61 would land pretty under. What, 132 right now?
Yeah.
Tennessee. I think that line looks short. I get what you're talking about. Trig.
I'm not touching the under. I don't like to play side and total. I'm not touching it, especially with that Tennessee defense. I think that's going to be everybody's natural reaction, but I don't blame people for wanting to back the under here. Get out of my house, Trig. Ski Profit in the comment section. What up, Ski?
Ski, let me use the Wi-Fi. Appreciate it.
Letting you use the Wi-Fi. Don't worry, Drew. We love you too. All right, but yeah, Drew Martin bets. Do you have a total for us tonight? That's always fun.
You know what? I do. I gave it out to the clients as well. Missouri and LSU tonight, guys. I've been cold, not gonna lie. Not seeing it well. I talked about that Bengals loss. That kind of got to me at the end. I was on the TCU West Virginia under last night. I know that, like, totals wise, you don't get a whole lot of like bad beats on SVP section, but that one was tough. We were looking real pretty on the under, and then it became a foul fest at the end. It went over. So I think I'm due tonight, guys. And we got LSU and Missouri Battle of Tigers going tonight. And I don't know, you brought up the SEC there, Kelly. And LSU is on a bad run since they've gotten into SEC play. They're 0-8.
Do not bet list. They're the number 1 team on my do not bet list, right here. Number 1, LSU. Done.
I actually don't mind laying doubles here with Missouri at night or tonight at home because they do run some pace. But so if you needed a side bet, I would say the Missouri Tigers. But even more so, I like this under. Having said Missouri runs pace, they really don't have a lot of games, particularly against SEC teams, where they score like 90, 95 points, like really blow the top off. And if you don't get that type of performance against LSU doesn't score against anybody. So, I mean, they haven't topped 70 points in like a month. They haven't topped 60 points in most of their games of recent. Sometimes they don't get over 50 points. So you can kind of start to do the math here. They're going to have to flirt with a 150 total. It's 147.5, Kelly. And Battle of Tigers here, I like the under 147.5, 9 o'clock on SEC Network tonight, LSU and Missouri.
Drew, I love the transparency, but I'm not going to let that go without pointing out that for the first 3 weeks of January, you basically didn't lose a bet. So it's okay that you had a little regression toward the end of the month, because you were red hot for like the first 3 weeks of January.
Basically, what you're saying is Drew and I are just switching roles right now because I just got killed the first 3 weeks of January, and now I'm finally getting back together.
Happens. That's sports bet. That's betting right there.
That was me as well.
Is.
So
that's why, like, when I'm losing, I try to just like pick out one best bet and ride that. I don't want to pepper the board right now because it's not really going my way. Just a couple things, little tricks of the trade you learn kind of the hard way.
Love it.
We got best bets coming up. Again, guys, we're brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer. Go to vivatequilaseltzer.com. Use the promo code HUSTLE20 at checkout. Viva. We flavored our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with a kick, just as we like to live our lives. VivaTequilaSeltzer.com. We got WagerTalk.com. If you like reading free picks with analysis, check out WagerTalk.com. A lot of guys putting up free picks for tonight's action. We got Steve Merrill, Auburn, -12. He put down some reasons why. We got Brian Power in with Richmond, -5. He's laying the points in that game against St. Bonaventure. Plus more, guys. Check out free picks page, WagerTalk.com. Best bet section coming up, but we've kind of gone a little quick here. Did we miss anything? Did we want to touch on anything? Tom Brady retiring before we get to best bets?
I mean, I want to touch on a couple of things. I've been kind of making some mental notes for the chat. They're asking about a couple different games. A couple of people asked about the George Washington game, and I lean George Washington. I don't know if you're saying that's the side that you like, but I certainly agree with you if you like George Washington. I think CT and I are kind of in agreement. We both think LaSalle is awful. So he's targeted LaSalle as a fade a couple of times. I have as well. I think they're at the bottom of that conference. So even though it's like a weird spot for GW on the road, I still think they're just better than LaSalle. If I had to bet that game, I would.
That game looks trappy as hell, don't you think? Just
doesn't it?
That's 1.5. Oh, LaSalle sucks so bad. Oh.
I know, and you know what? Like I thought about that, but LaSalle kind of battled to cover against Rhode Island. I mean, so actually they blew a lead, but they hung around, got the money against Rhode Island as a 5.5-point dog over the weekend. And I just think it's short. Like, I agree with you, Cal. George Washington on the road in like a spot that seems like, everyone's on. Well, I don't know that game's getting a ton of volume, but George Washington just got smoked at Fordham. So I would think that George Washington is more likely to bounce back. So yeah, it's not something I bet, but I certainly lean GW there. And I know a couple others asked about games I didn't have an opinion on. I'll throw one other one out here just to sort of make the point. Like Kel said, you stick to the conferences that that you're good in. The worst thing you can do is spread yourself too thin. The best thing you can do is find a conference or two and just focus on those. Because chances are, like, if you're just following the MAC, you're probably sharper than the books are. If you're just like following one conference, especially when it's the smaller conferences, that you tend to be able to beat them easier. I lean Cal Baptist tonight. Money line's like -135. I'd prefer it on the money line. I did not bet it because I just haven't been that good in the Big West this year. So I'm kind of taking Kelly's advice, right? Like, I haven't been that good in the Big West. So even though Cal Baptist looks to be in a great spot, I like them at home. They're 9-3 at home. They lost a bad loss over the weekend to Rio Grande Valley. I think they are in a great bounce back spot against a team that hasn't been that great on the road. I won't be upset if it wins and I'm not on it because I really do think Cal Baptist is a great play. But kind of like Cal said, I just haven't been that strong in the Big West this year. So I decided not to, it's not going to make my card. But that is another one I had a pretty strong opinion toward.
Well said, Trig. Hey, guys, before we get to best bets, wanted to ask you a question, Trig. You would be a good person to ask. So would CT Bets, and Kelly, you would as well. You brought up George Washington and LaSalle tonight. It's 7:00 Eastern, A10 matchup. You also said something that there likely isn't a whole lot of action on it, Trig. I'm talking legalized. I'm talking offshore. I'm talking across the whole world. What would you say the total handle is on the George Washington LaSalle game tonight, if you had to put a number on it?
Drew, the reason I say that is because there's just so many games tonight that I just don't think that one is drawing a huge handle.
Right.
I wouldn't even. I'll be honest. Like I'm gonna like use my phone a friend here. Remember Millionaire?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Phone a friend.
It's a different.
I'm gonna throw that over to Kelly. I'm going to throw that over to Kel and see if she has an answer, because I have no clue.
I don't have access to
I have no idea.
and all that stuff.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have it in front of me.
I have to phone friends. I don't have any, I don't get any of that kind of intel anymore unless I ask for it. I would say 640,000 in total, both sides.
Yeah, I was going to say 500,000. I mean, which is, when you think about it, virtually nothing, considering
it's like
all the big games that there are.
The dime bettors, we're talking about guys that bet $1. We're talking about guys that bet 15 grand. I don't know.
Yeah, considering there's Tennessee, Florida tonight,
syndicates. We're talking a lot. It's. I have no idea how you would even.
That's a good question.
Have access to it. I can call one person. I can call John Murray and be like, John Murray, can you tell me? And he's like, yeah, 77% of the money is on the Bengals. And so when CT's like, I love the Chiefs, I'm like, fine, I guess I'll take the Chiefs. And it went my way that time because they got obliterated on the Eagles game. But I don't know how you get books around the world, quantitatively, all of the money.
Can't. Yeah. The equation, it would be actually impossible to answer with a for sure, because you're not going to get the offshore books to give you the exact money. But even asking somebody
and the locals and everybody else.
Yeah. Who knows? That's why I just wanted to get your guys' opinion. I didn't know if it was 30 grand or 7 million, there's what would it really be, guys? It's very difficult to kind of put a number on it. And even if you did call John Murray and he gave you that number, that's only one sports book.
Right.
Right. It's only one book. Yeah.
But that's a great talking point. Like Keith Landry says, ask and sig. Yeah, SharePay might be able to dig up that information for us.
True. Side note, we just finally legalized gambling in Massachusetts. Yesterday was the first day. It was really exciting. A bunch of us went down to the Encore casino yesterday. It's Win Bet, and they're open. And Kelly Barstool Sportsbook, they opened up in Plain Ridge, Massachusetts. So we have 3 legal books here right now, which is really exciting. And it's going to get up to.
Did you just go open it like 3 different accounts yesterday? Were you like that guy? You're like, yep.
Well, I would have, but this state is so stupid, right? It's legal to go to the window right now, but it's not going to be legal on the app until the end of the month.
I mean, that's how New York was for years. New York was that for years.
They only wanted brick and mortar.
2 or 3 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but Drew, you can legally make a bet here. They did a nice job, and it was cool to be down there. And we cashed some tickets down there. Myself, Dan Lipschatz, Julian, Sammy P. We all had Iowa last night. So that was nice cashing your first ticket.
Jay Buff's in the comments, fresh out of back surgery, and he wants to know, he needs a doped up bet for tonight. Trig, do you have an opinion on Pitt, North Carolina?
Yeah, it's going to be my best bet. I think UNC smashes that team. I don't think
that's the. Do you want to start off first with your best bet then?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't.
I was done too, by the way, Cal. Just to let you know. I was just telling Kel that I was done talking.
I thought you were done.
No, she just decided I was done and just went over to Jay Buff. Thank God, Jay Buff. Glad you're doing well, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even have a best bet plan for the show. Like, I really like the game I gave out earlier that I gave as a best bet was UMass Lowell. It already started. I talked about Providence. That just tipped off. So I was just going to wing it and give one. Cal Baptist was one I liked, but someone asked about, I saw 3 people ask about Pitt UNC, so I'm just going to use that one. Like, I just think UNC is in a spot where they can just roll Pitt. I don't think that's a close matchup by any means. The number looks big. It should be big. It kind of feels like, I mean, it's a bad comparison to make to Kansas State, Kansas, because those are not 2 elite teams, but it's the same spread, and I feel like it's just going to be, I think it's going to be one-sided. So I'll make UNC minus 8.5 my best bet for the show.
So UNC plus 8.5 for Trig, best bet?
Minus 8.5. They're an 8.5 point favorite against Pitt, and I think they slam them tonight.
There we go. All right, good stuff, Trig. We got Keith helping you out here, CT Bets, standing up for you. Death, taxes, CT getting interrupted.
He knows a lot about taxes. He lives in Massachusetts. Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Keith, you're exactly right. No one gives a shit about me getting interrupted. But Keith, want to know what? I don't really give a shit either because after Sunday, I'm fucking rich. I had $1 million on the Chiefs, so it doesn't really matter. That being said, Keith, I'm going to go to the Big East for my big bet or my best bet tonight, and that's Villanova at Marquette. I've been fading this Nova team all year, faded them again on Sunday. They always find a way to collapse, and which they did again in the second half. Been one of the most underperforming teams in the country this season. Talent's there. They can't put it together. So inconsistent, unreliable. Marquette, on the other hand, established themselves as one of the best teams in the Big East. And I think they could actually be a serious contender here come March. They score fast, score in bunches. Couple concerns. Looks like the Joneses, Cam Jones and Sean Jones are questionable tonight. But I think I've heard from a little birdie that they're going to go tonight. There's a couple other guys out, Ellis and Wright, but they've been out, and neither one of them kind of contributed so far to the team this year too much. Shouldn't have too big of an impact tonight. That being said, Marquette has 5 other double-figure scorers, and they should be okay tonight. In this one, Kolek, he's been one of the best in the conference. He's going to cause some serious trouble for Nova, and I expect both Joneses to be on the floor here. Even with the injuries, Marquette gets it done here. They're 5-0 against the spread. Their last 5, 6-1 ATS in their last 7 here, following an ATS win. Drew, play on Marquette -6 is my best bet for the night.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like they're as high as -7 right now, -6.5. So they're taking a little bit of money off of that low water mark, CT. Hey, Marquette, really good. What are your thoughts? I know that they even played Baylor early, like taking a shot with Marquette to win it all. You think they have that type of talent?
Funny you say that, Drew. I did it this morning. I did a podcast with Julian Edlow and Dan Lifshatz this morning on his podcast, and I said, you know what, boys, what do you think about Marquette 30-1? I think I'm going to put a couple bucks on them right now. So I did do that this morning.
I really think they're going to be in the type of basketball they play, especially, you know, when the tournament happens, you got that Thursday game and then like Saturday or Friday and Sunday, whatever the case, that short turnaround. I'm going to look to bet on Marquette just because they play like kind of that unique style of basketball. I think that might help them kind of advance along the way in like tough games.
I totally agree, Drew. I mean, that Baylor game this year, I know it was early, but man, we saw that how explosive Marquette can be. And man, I mean, I know the tournament, you don't get home court advantage, but man, they are tough at home. And even they've been okay on the road this year too. I mean, Shaka's got them playing really, really well. They're well coached and they're experienced, and they have guys that could absolutely fill it up. So I thought 30-1 was worth a couple bucks.
Yeah.
I love Shaka too, but Shaka is a dog. I was on them against CT's Baylor Bears. And that might be one of the only Big East games I've won all year long. CT, I gave Trig good news that I lean Xavier. I got bad news because I lean Marquette, but I did not end up getting to the window with that team. So hopefully that helps you. I don't know why the Big East has been just so brutal to me, but I agree. I do think this is a team that's going to be really good come March, especially as an underdog, because you know that certain teams don't get a lot of love in the betting marketplace. And I think they're one of them come that time of the year.
Guys, we got Kelly, you haven't given out your best bet yet, right?
I have not.
Okay. I'll give out mine, and you could go, you know, we'll save, I guess, the best for last here because I'm frigidly cold here, guys. So just keep that in mind. We got Trig UNC -8.5. We got CT Marquette -6.5. I give it the LSU Missouri under tonight. Also was on Providence +4. Some people making fun of me that I just tweeted it out. You know, no, I actually talked about it on the college basketball show, WagerTalk YouTube. But for the best bet on record here, I am going to go to the late night action here, guys. New Mexico, Utah State.
No!
Is that where you're going?
Yes.
Okay, you have it. You have it.
I thought I was really going to get a high on the radar. You're going to go. Are you going to go total or side?
I'm going side.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Oh, gosh.
Where are you going, Drew?
I can already tell you who each one has.
All right, go ahead. Guess it out, CT.
You have Utah State and Drew's on New Mexico. Am I right?
I mean, I'm on Utah State. Drew.
I just said that.
Are you on New Mexico?
I'm on Ricky Pitino. Yep. In the
boy. Okay, well,
CT,
Drew and I are head-to-head. I'm gonna let Drew talk here in a minute, but I'm just gonna say two things. Stephen Ashworth, Taylor Funk, New Mexico. I have bet against this team twice this year, at Nevada, at Fresno State, and now in the sleepy little town of Logan, Utah, where I believe Trig has been. He knows that they have a decent home court advantage. You haven't been there?
No, I was at BYU, but I will definitely get to Utah State next time I'm out there.
Either way, they have a pretty rowdy student section. These kids get up big for this. New Mexico can't stop the three. I just told you the two guys that are two of the best three-point shooters in the country. I don't think New Mexico has an answer for them. I also like the over tonight. I think this looks like a knockout, drag-out, just score fest, but mainly from the Aggies, of course. I think they get hot from three, and especially at home. They shoot almost 6 percentage points better at home than they do on the road from three. I don't know, Drew Martin Betts. I hate to be against you, but since you said you were been a little frigid, that makes me happy.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing in the end. And we're not going to confuse everybody. Kelly in Vegas, Utah State -4. I am changing my best bet on the fly, so we don't have to go up against each other here.
Because I wanted to have like a fun side bet. Like
we can do that. We can do
you
that.
have to shotgun a Viva live on air, which is really hard to do because they're extra fizzy. But I've done it lots of times.
Yeah, maybe if we do that golf weekend on the west coast of Florida, I'm down for a little side action. So you got to do a shot at tequila or
oh god,
or
Yeah.
what? Chug
Yeah.
the Viva.
I
What are
don't
we
care.
doing?
I don't care. We'll do something fun with Viva.
All right, one of the two.
Winner gets to decide what the other person does, but nothing like completely demoralizing. Just kind of.
Nothing crazy. So I'll change on the fly here. I'll go Tennessee, the Vols. They are actually, the money's coming in on Florida, which, hey, look at it as a buy low opportunity, guys. DraftKings -4 here.
Drew's going against both my bets.
Again, that's probably a good thing because I'm frigidly cold. I just think, look, I think Tennessee is the much stronger team here, Kelly. I really do. 18-3 on the season, 7-1 in conference. Rick Barnes, the better coach. Florida playing better defense of late. I'll give you that. But I don't know. It's a big game for them. I think the market's getting too cute. Tennessee, buy low here. One of the best teams in college basketball. A team with the shot to win it all. And -4. I'll take that as my best bet, Kelly. So talking about the O-Dome, a good play. Have you seen a game there yet, Kelly?
I have not.
Okay. It's a good place to watch a game.
I haven't been to a lot of college basketball arenas yet. I'm not trig.
Yeah.
I'm also burnt the fuck out from football season.
Just gotta rest it up and hopefully find some winners here. Kelly on Utah State -4. Trig has UNC -8.5. CT bets Marquette -6.5. I'm on Tennessee -4. Hey, huge thing. We'll do it off the top here. Let us know what you guys think in the George Washington LaSalle total amount of money bet. Reply on the YouTube channel, the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Just in any reasons why. We can talk about it on next week's show. But yeah, any good analysis, we'll be happy to talk about it live. George Washington LaSalle total handle, all the money bet, legalized across the world.
Thanks,
all right, well, Jacob Rowell really liked CT's sportsbook video about Joe Burrow the other night. That's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of people text me like, wait, there was confusion. There was like, what the fuck is this? There was like, I love this guy. Like the comments were all across the board. And I'm like, it's just Chris.
I mean, that's what I do when I win 30K on a game. I'm sorry.
I'm mad at you.
Sorry. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Kelly,
think whatever they want.
No, you're totally right, CT.
You know?
I want more videos though.
All you guys, my closest friends, know I had on the game, so I had a little fun with it after. Other than
people love the hula. Okay, they just love it.
Yeah.
There was a hula video that I missed. CT, you didn't even send it.
He tweeted it.
He tweeted it. I think he even sent it in the group.
Oh man, my bad.
Drew, you're probably sleeping.
It was after the Chiefs won, Drew.
That's always the joke. Whenever Drew doesn't respond for like 24 hours, he must be sleeping. I'm like, you guys, it's 5 p.m.
No, it's when I'm losing bets, I put my phone down and I don't want to talk to anybody because I'll be
especially us because we're all a bunch of monsters. We get it.
Yeah, fair enough. I want names and numbers of who had a problem with it, Cal.
Muhammad thinks that the refs gave the game to the Chiefs. Well, I think they gave it to the Eagles. There was about 84 questionable calls in the 2 games. You guys got to remember that. There's a reason why John Murray and I call it the refs, because they absolutely dictate every single game. So what do you want to do? They make it all about themselves. They love to throw flags and make themselves the center of attention.
Don't disagree.
No argument, Kelly. Anything else, guys?
Don't disagree. It's hoop season.
Yep.
Let's get after it then.
Yeah.
We got best bets in. Adam Trigger, Chris Thurston, Kelly Stewart. I'm Drew Martin. We'll be back next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Again, guys, check out vivatequilaseltzer.com. Promo code HUSTLE20 at checkout takes 20% off. Check out WagerTalk.com. Best free live odds in the industry. Live odds tab, WagerTalk.com. For Kelly, Trig, CT, I'm